What's going on, everyone? So this is going to be more solidification of what I've been saying for the past few months, what Alex has been saying for the past few months, and a lot of other um, YouTube content creators like Colty's with himself, Jez, has said it, and a couple other people that were wanted to see something amazing, something that was going to spice up this console war uh, that's been going on quite some time. And it's going to get interesting here. So are we ready? Because PlayStation fanboys are not going to be able to handle this. Or maybe the cool ones. Microsoft briefly posted a new Xbox UI mockup that indicates a Steam Games filter. As we've been telling people, they didn't want to listen, so it gets even more interesting. According to sources, Microsoft is working on an Xbox app update currently in early stages that shows every game installed on your PC, including Steam and EGS titles. So what are we talking about here? Once again, we're talking about a unified storefront that we've been talking about. Because you had some people like XFault who were trying to say that people were seething and it's copium that this is going to happen. And it looks like he was wrong, of course, as always. Nothing new over there because I just want to promote Sony positivism in a toxic manner as if like nothing negative goes on over there. So, I mean, do we see this right here? If you go to this right here, you could see Steam. It says it right there. Wario64. Microsoft briefly posted a new Xbox UI mockup that includes a Steam Games filter, right? According to sources, Microsoft is working on an Xbox app update. So we've been talking about this for a while, and I'm telling you, that's the best route they can go. So they're going to be getting the whole slate, like PC's getting the whole slate of PlayStation. What do you guys have to say about that? I think that's amazing. That's going to spice up things interestingly, huh? So I think first and foremost, Steam would be the first thing you should get. I can wait on GOG and I can wait on other stuff because I can do that on my PC. But I think if we get a next gen Xbox, it's just as powerful as high end PCs at that current moment. And when you get to a certain point in technology, everything is just going to start looking so good. And it can run everything at 1620 frames per second, even obviously be able to do 8K because 8K TVs will be more relevant by then. I mean, you're going to have that innovation in hardware. And what else are they going to innovate? Like something like Quick Resume, along with the Steam access and being able to play PlayStation 5 games, that it's going to be just like a PC now. I got all your PS5 games, I got the PC integration, and I have the console experience all in one. The only thing it's missing is Nintendo. But it's okay, everybody's missing that. And I don't see them bending. And that's okay, though. Consoles need to have some sort of strength. And when you do it for that long, in-house and you are so successful and you benefit everyone else as far as like how to be better developers, here's some foundations like jumping templates, wall jumping, flying, all those sort of things that are foundations that so many developers today use. Yeah, man, I don't have no problem with you because you've been doing it yourself. You can do whatever you want when it's something you create. Now when it's other people's stuff you lock away, yeah, we have problems here. But over here, like I said, getting just even some proof right here because this is something they did. You know what I mean? We're not sitting here just talking. No, you're seeing it right here. Let me zoom in a little bit for you guys so you can see that right there. Steam. You see it right there. Owned. This is not something that people were thinking too, like you have to pull up a whole Steam and be on there. No, they're trying to unify it just like EA Play, right? And Ubisoft, towards like if you get Game Pass, you know what I mean? You would just be able to click that tab and it'll show you all those games. So it'll be on the Microsoft Store. So if Steam is going to be in the Microsoft operating service, then that should just tell you something when it comes to the operating system. They've been working together secretly behind the scenes. That's why this type of talk was coming up. And this is very important. I don't think people understand how amazing this is right here. Because this gives you the idea of you don't have to pay for online unless you get Game Pass. And why would you not want Game Pass? You know what I mean? So just make it like that if you're going to unify it together. And that there's a sense of the Steam operating system coming into the Xbox operating system onto the dashboard right here. And all you gotta do is click on it right there. You can just have it right on the same Xbox UI. And there's some people thinking that it'll be a little bit more complicated. And I'm like, just watch how they do it. And as you see, it's just what people would want, just it being like that. Even if you have to sign in and make a Steam account, people link that up anyway to all their profiles, even though they don't even be, on it on the sense of the console. But you could already have that integration there, so it was there in a sense, hiddenly, without people even thinking about it. You know what I mean? So same thing with like Discord and all that before it came to consoles. You're like, oh wait, is it ever gonna get Discord? Well, as you see, you could do that. So it's just adding more things to it because it's closer to PC now than ever. So why not do that? This is just great. I mean, I'm telling you right now. Let's read some of these comments. Imagine a world where you can play your own Steam library on Xbox. I think that's kind of the future, and vice versa. Because you could already do your own Xbox on the PC experience. Now let's bring PC experiences to the consoles, and like I said, it's already pretty much a PC now, and let's make that sync and close the gap even closer and have that unified experience. And then now you're going to see people on their Xbox playing PlayStation games. That's going to be very interesting. And you guys are going to see. Watch when that happens. Of course, it's going to benefit Xbox, but watch the people that still want to be loyal to Sony. They're still going to be loyal to them. This may just help Microsoft out more though, which is not a bad thing. But I'm telling you, you'll realize that the majority of those games that do come over, just like they do on PC, you're still going to see the same PlayStation performance going on because people never bought PlayStation for first party. If you see the success, like I said, it's 90 something percent third party. Those exclusives are a benefit to say, hey, even if you have this consoles, you can still experience these games. So people are going to get back to going to play what they usually play. Like when you even look at some of the stats, 50 to 60% of the players are playing live service games. Call of Duty isn't a live service besides Warzone. How many people are playing that? You had that in. That's a chunk of your community. So just already right there, you already have 75, 80% with FIFA, Madden, Rocket League, Minecraft. Like when you think of Fortnite, those type of games, they're taking up the majority of the user's time. And then they'll go play other games for a little bit because they don't have that longevity and they go right back to what they invested into. And the profiles they carried over since PS3 to PS4, PS5, all their trophies and all of that, they're attached to all of that more than a first party game. And I think this is where people have deluded themselves big time to think because Sony's beating Microsoft because of first party. No, the only way that works is with Nintendo. They're beating everyone because of their first party. And they're able to do that. They have the first party power. Microsoft did have first party power with Halo, you know what I mean? And Gears during the Xbox and 360 days in party chat. But now power is in a different atmosphere. We know that in this modern setting. So, like I said, you got some games like Fortnite that are more powerful than their damn console base. You know what I mean? Just the game by itself, and you just download it whenever you want, anywhere at any time. Like I said, that's a third party domination. Like right now, Monster Hunter Wilds is dominating everything, and that's third party. And that's what a lot of people were playing. And like you'll see that trend when GTA comes out. What is that? It's going to be the biggest game in the world. The only game that's bigger than Nintendo games, like Mario Kart 8 selling 70 million. Guess what though? That's going to be a massive third party juggernaut and the biggest vacuum in the gaming industry that's powering up everything. And they're sitting there waiting so they can move PS5 Pros because of that game because they can't do it themselves with their own games. You see that they keep looking for other people's games to come out to support it. And then people will get a PlayStation because they like the brand, because it's called brand loyalists, just like people to get in cults. You see this little brand, doesn't matter what you tell them, they're gonna worship that brand and be in it. And you can put whatever you want elsewhere, they'll think negative of it because it's not in that brand, because that's the human tribal aspect inside of human beings. And they'll still just want to support it. So this is more like, what are we doing to benefit the Xbox community the most and getting more access to more games in a way that's kind of sneaky, and I kind of find it very interesting. So that's what's great about this is understanding and knowing that. Not necessarily thinking, what are they going to do to strengthen the Xbox hardware again and beat Sony in hardware sales? Guys, we can't get in that mentality because that's not the way this is going to be. But will that help out the hardware sales? Oh yeah, big time, because now you have the Xbox, which is pick up and play, and you can have the PC Steam experience right there. And people don't want to deal with all that drivers and all the downloads and any files. They don't want to deal with any of that. So if you can make that more simplified, pick up and play for them, that will give Xbox a hardware advantage in that sort of sense. Definitely, if your console is more powerful and you're playing the PS4 and PS5 games at higher settings than the PS5 Pro coming in the future. You see what I mean? They made the smart move. Like I think Microsoft was making a lot of more intelligent moves than Sony, but Sony just has that carryover hardware vanity. But outside of that, they're not doing that well. And Nintendo's coming around the corner again with a huge fire, and they're about to spark it up big time in the console world, and they're going to empower consoles again big time. They're going to empower console sales again big time. So we have to just look at the reality and say, yeah, they're going to be coming again selling 20, 30, 40 million stuff you're not going to even see PC base be able to do, because they're the most powerful gaming aspect in gaming right? When I think of PC, I think of it in a lot of other things. Like I see this article with like 900 and something, but it's like how many of those people are actually gaming? Like you can't think that that caters to 100% gaming demographic. It's kind of a deceptive thing, and I tell you, I call that out anywhere I see. You can't put PC as something to be sold on the market to compare it for a 6 to 7 year window like a console. They're trying to just compare it to since the beginning of time all the way right now to console sales that are currently happening right now. It's not really so much a comparison. The only thing you could really compare is just the data that's coming out, like good data for Monster Hunter being more dominant. Yeah, because what do PC players play? When they showed that 70% of them are playing online games. Monster Hunter is an online game. It has text chat, all that you can mod. That's going to touch the PC community big time. But if you release something that's like single player and doesn't last that long, they may just ignore it completely. And then when you look at what's selling more on consoles, you'll be like, that makes sense because the PC demographic is looking more for high replay value and online and being able to connect and talk with people and type and have a social aspect. It's already integrated into the keyboard anyways right there. Just to be able to type, more freely. Like if you look at the games, it's like there are some competitive games like League of Legends, type and chat and that. Same thing with Counter Strike. They're the most played games every single day on there. Marvel Rivals blew up big time. Path of Exile blew up. What do we see here when we look at this pattern? Strong online, high replay value games. Helldivers 2 was the biggest game to blow up on PC from PlayStation. Why? See what I mean? Online. Now, if you look at other things, I'm not saying they wouldn't support it, but they're most likely looking for that, like that type of experience first and foremost. Otherwise, to them, if it doesn't require online, some of them will pirate it. You can kind of see that, right? So, going to take a look over in the Xbox atmosphere, which is, we know what they like to play too. It's kind of similar in some ways. They like to play online shooting games or just online games in general. They're more social than the PlayStation base that plays a bunch of single player narrative drop off games and then goes back to playing their usual. And they both have similar like demographics in a sense. Like when you look at sales, you'll see GTA, Call of Duty, Madden, FIFA, Red Dead. Those type of games. And then the big, huge vacuum games that come out like Monster Hunters and stuff like that, COD and all that. They have similar demographics. That's why I love seeing Nintendo Strike. It's like none of them exist on there. It's like I'm creating all this. And it diversifies the world. So it isn't just bland and boring in that same freaking repetitive cycle over and over again. And then PC has some interesting stuff too. So seeing Microsoft get that unified blend, then that's going to mean that they're going to have more games than PlayStation. They are. And then at this point, now Sony has to think about what can I do now to be more pro-consumer? What can I do now to strengthen my first party and publishing power? Because I know I can beat them in the hardware sales as being a hardware manufacturing company. But am I going to be able to beat them in all those other categories now? Because the future is all those other categories. You see what I'm saying? So this is a huge move. So Dustin, what he says, PlayStation games coming to Xbox, and he has that smirk on his face, which I think is funny. Tom Warren it said the same thing, right? Going over here. Microsoft revealed earlier this month that it's combining the best of Xbox and Windows together. We've been talking about it. Code Eastwood has been talking about the unified dashboard for handhelds, and now the company is starting to drop the first hints at what the UI may look like. In a blog post about the Xbox opening $1 billion, Microsoft briefly revealed a new Xbox UI that looks more like a console, like across multiple devices, and it appears to list Steam games. After briefly posting an image of an Xbox UI. And remember, you don't make an accident by making that image. It was put there on purpose. Devices. Microsoft quickly removed it once The Verge inquired about it. The image has a new Xbox UI that can be seen on a TV where you can clearly see the Steam label listed, the same UI with the Steam mention. It is also shown on the tablet and handheld versions. Which that makes sense because with the Asus theme Xbox experience, I wonder if they're going to put the Steam tab on that handheld when you go into the Xbox experience. But that doesn't make sense to me because it's not an Xbox operating system, right? So I know some people that try to say, oh, that's just handheld. It's like, no. If that was the case, then we're going to have an Xbox operating system handheld experience because that is on the Xbox UI. Like when we look at this right here, this is the Windows Store. You know what I mean? So you're seeing Steam integrated with the Xbox operating system. They are doing that. They're letting you know that. This is not an argument. This is just realizing what is the picture telling me. You know what I mean? When we look at it right there, owned, all that. This is like the games that you actually own. So you see that. That's the Xbox UI right there. So it's pretty clear right there. While the image appears to be a mock-up with own games listed twice as well as action adventure titles, I don't think Steam label is necessarily a mistake. How can it be? Sources familiar with the Microsoft plans tell me that the company is currently working on an Xbox app update that will show every game you have installed on your PC. That includes games from Steam and Epic Games Store, and I understand Microsoft will label these games accordingly. So it's no different than saying that now that EA Play has teamed up with Game Pass, and so it's Ubisoft Plus or whatever, it's going to show all those in that little tab as you would, and that's the Xbox experience. So yeah, at this point, if Pony still want to play this game, then all we're gonna do is make fun of them and clip them, right? This is what we're gonna do, guys. Remember that. I'm told that Microsoft is still in the early stages of this Xbox app update, so the company might never ship the future to list all your Steam games. But this mocked-up image shows that they might show up eventually. Xbox chief Phil Spencer has also previously hinted that PC stores like Epic Games Store and itch.io, also GOG, Great Old Games, could one day arrive on Xbox consoles. I asked Microsoft to comment on the appearance of the Xbox UI, but the company didn't respond in time for publication. Interesting. So let me know what y'all think about this. This is more exciting news. Like, comment, subscribe. Sony gonna be even more third party without even wanting to be third party. Whole slate coming. Peace out, y'all. Ponies. Sit down.